Iron Man is a 2008 superhero film originating from the Marvel Comics character of the same name. Produced by Marvel Studios and distributed by Paramount Pictures, it serves as the inaugural installment in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, or MCU. Directed by Jon Favreau and scripted by Mark Fergus, Hawk Ostby, Art Markham, and Matt Holloway, the movie features Robert Downey Jr. in the role of Tony Stark, also known as Iron Man, alongside Terrence Howard, Jeff Bridges, Gwyneth Paltrow, Leslie Bibb, and Sean Toob. The storyline revolves around Tony Stark, a renowned industrialist and brilliant engineer who, after escaping captivity from a terrorist group, constructs a technologically advanced suit of armor, transforming into the iconic superhero Iron Man. Let's look back and see what happened in this iconic Marvel movie.
It starts with Tony Stark, who has inherited Stark Industries, a defense contractor, from his late father Howard Stark, finds himself in war-torn Afghanistan alongside his friend and military liaison, Lieutenant Colonel James Rhodes. They are there to showcase the new Jericho missile. However, following the demonstration, their convoy is attacked, resulting in Stark sustaining critical injuries from one of his company's own missiles used by the assailants. Stark is then captured and confined in a cave by a terrorist organization known as the Ten Rings. To prevent the shrapnel from reaching his heart and causing his demise, a fellow captive named Yinsen, who is also a doctor, implants an electromagnet into Stark's chest. While held captive, Ten Rings leader Raza proposes Stark's freedom in exchange for constructing a Jericho missile for their group, although Stark and Yinsen harbor doubts about Raza's intentions.
Tony Stark's journey in Afghanistan plays a crucial role in shaping his origins and character development in the MCU. Although it diverges significantly from the original comic book storyline, in the comics, Iron Man's debut and origin story were set during the Vietnam War era. But to bring the character into contemporary context, the MCU updated Tony Stark's origins to occur during the conflict in Afghanistan. This decision allowed the MCU to reflect modern-day issues and themes. While the Iron Man movie effectively adapted the Afghan war scenario, there were slight discrepancies, such as the contact left moment. Nonetheless, this adaptation contributed to making Iron Man a more relatable and essential installment within the MCU.
Stark and Yinsen covertly construct an advanced electric generator called an arc reactor to power Stark's electromagnet and a prototype suit of armored exoskeleton to aid their escape plan. Despite their efforts to keep the suit hidden until completion, their intentions are discovered by the Ten Rings, prompting an attack on their workshop. Yinsen valiantly sacrifices himself to distract the attackers while Stark activates the suit. Escaping the cave, Stark confronts the dying Yinsen and then destroys the Ten Rings' weaponry before crash landing in the desert, destroying the suit in the process. Upon his rescue by Rhodes, Stark resolves to cease weapons manufacturing at Stark Industries, facing resistance from his father's former partner, Obadiah Stane, who warns of dire consequences. Back home, Stark upgrades his armor and develops a more advanced arc reactor while maintaining secrecy about his work, much to Stane's suspicion. During a charity event hosted by Stark Industries, reporter Christine Everhart alerts Stark to the misuse of his company's weapons by the Ten Rings, who are attacking Yinsen's hometown, Gulmira. Stark dons his newly developed armor and rushes to Afghanistan to intervene, rescuing the villagers. En route back home, he encounters F-22 Raptors and decides to reveal his identity to Rhodes to stop the conflict. Meanwhile, the Ten Rings salvage the remnants of Stark's prototype suit and collaborate with Stane, who orchestrated a coup within Stark Industries to eliminate Stark and seize control. Stane eliminates Raza and the group, proceeding to develop an immense suit using Stark's technology. To expose Stane's treachery, Stark tasks Potts with hacking into the company's database, leading to the revelation that Stane conspired with the Ten Rings to assassinate Stark. Potts subsequently informs Agent Coulson of S.H.I.E.L.D. about Stane's illicit activities. Stane's team fails to replicate Stark's compact arc reactor, prompting Stane to ambush Stark at his residence and seize the reactor from his chest. Stark, however, manages to reinstall his original reactor. Potts and S.H.I.E.L.D. agents confront Stane, leading to a showdown during which Stark battles Stane, but struggles without his upgraded reactor. The conflict escalates atop the Stark Industries building, where Stark instructs Potts to overload the main arc reactor, resulting in a massive discharge that causes Stane and his armor to plummet into the reactor, resulting in his demise. The following day, Stark publicly reveals his identity as the hero Iron Man during a press conference. In a post-credits scene, S.H.I.E.L.D. director Nick Fury pays Stark a visit, discussing the possibility of assembling more superheroes under the Avenger Initiative.
In Iron Man's post-credit scene, Samuel L. Jackson's Nick Fury lurks in the shadows before his initial encounter with Tony Stark, signifying Iron Man's integration into a larger universe. Fury introduces himself to Stark and extends an invitation to join the Avengers Initiative. In a scene toward the end of The Marvels, Kamala Khan's Miss Marvel unveils her own idea, followed by her secretive recruitment of Kate Bishop's Hawkeye, hinting at the formation of a new team of young heroes, possibly the Young Avengers. This final sequence, echoing Nick Fury's role, is both amusing and exhilarating, yet it draws attention to the peculiarities of the original 2008 post-credits scene in light of the subsequent developments in Marvel's Phase 1. However, there's a suggestion that the Avengers Initiative was already established, implying Stark would be joining an existing team. Subsequent films in Marvel's Phase 1 clarified that Tony Stark was among the first individuals contacted by Nick Fury. Moreover, the Avengers Initiative was merely a concept that had been shelved before the events of 2012's Avengers, although heroes were still gathered by Fury in response to the threat posed by Loki and Thanos' Chitauri army. Given Marvel Studios' uncertainty at the time about realizing the post-credits scene, it's understandable why the scene now appears somewhat peculiar in retrospect. The Marvels raises an intriguing point regarding Nick Fury and the iconic first post-credits scene in 2008's Iron Man, which marked the inception of the interconnected Marvel Cinematic Universe and initiated the trend of post-credit sequences. However, The Marvels humorously underscores that some aspect of Fury's proposition to Tony Stark were not as fully developed as implied. That's about it for the first Iron Man movie recap and review. Stay updated as we talk about Iron Man sequels in our next videos. As thanks for watching the whole video, here's a picture of a cute puppy. And if you have a movie or TV show that you want us to cover, just comment it down below. We'll make a video of it in the future. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Check out our playlist for more recaps.